Hey, Jeremy here with the Mishkan Tabernacle exhibit. I'm here with Kevin Fisher, president of Art Discovery, and we're going to be talking about something really interesting. This is a piece of sulfur, right? And it's in a pure form that's found naturally in the earth usually.
Yes, this is found along the Dead Sea, the western side of the Dead Sea in Israel. This is found at the Sodom and Gomorrah sites. This is what you call monoclinic sulfur. It's 98% pure. It's a special recipe that God sent down to rain down upon the cities to conserve the buildings and the people. The naturally occurring sulfur that you would find like in a volcanic region is 50% sulfur, but
Mhm.
this is 98. This is a marker left behind. Josephus said that he saw it in the first century. We should be able to see it too. The water levels have not risen. The traditional thought is that all the cities are under the south end of the Dead Sea and you can't see them. That's totally false. Satan wants us to believe that there's no evidence, but the evidence is clearly visible. There are 5 cities you can see in satellite imagery, north, south, along the western side of the Dead Sea, and you find this brimstone in these cities. Is chalky, compacted, and when it's burning, it creates a liquid on the outside of it, and then that liquid, when it cools down, if it's snuffed out, if it loses oxygen, ash falls on this, it snuffs out the fire, and that liquid turns into this hardened shell, which has little crystals in it. So this was totally encapsulated, this piece, and I broke it open, and inside you see the unburned sulfur inside. So these are sulfur nodules. The outside have been on fire and have been encapsulated. And this is a marker God left behind, and it's a warning to us. You know, there's fire and brimstone coming back in the judgment, and we don't want to be a part of that, do we?
That's right.
So God wants us to accept Him. He's looking at our form of worship. How are we worshiping? So this is an amazing marker, isn't it, Jeremy?
That's neat. Show up an up close look of it here. You got a 98% pure sulfur in this encapsulation. I suppose the fire might have burned some of the rocks and melted it onto it, kind of like a shell. And you can find how many of these out at those sites?
Well, they're in on the surface. You'll find some here and there. People have been walking through these since 1989, picking these up. But if you were to dig down, you would find more of them. You know, they're covered up. Most of these are covered up under the ash. But when you go there, typically, if you were to spend, 4 hours going through there, you would pick up, maybe 30 or 40 of these scattered around the area. So it's really interesting to
Yeah.
go to the sites. It's exciting because you see the ashen formations, that some of them look man-made formations, and then you find the brimstone. And the more you walk through there, the more incredible it is. I've been there about 15 times, and it's just a marker God has left behind, and we need to remember that there's a judgment. God judges people, and we want to be found faithful.
Yeah, absolutely.